Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm so happy to welcome Gerald back. We always have so much fun.
We do. We do
TarotStache.
have, we
do.
might have a little too much fun.
No, there's no such thing.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
I mean, I know we both grew up Catholic, but there's no such thing as too much fun.
Yes.
For all of you recovering Catholics in the audience, yeah, no such thing as too much fun. Today, we're going to talk a little, it's Lammas today, and we're going to talk a little bit about Lammas. Well, Gerald's going to talk about Lammas, and I'm going to smile and ask questions. And if you want to ask him questions, of course, put them in the chat. And after that, we're going to do, the readings are going to be on, and I'll put this, okay, so you want to see this? I'll put it up. What Lammas message are the Akashic Records bringing you? We're still using Nightbot, but all I want to see after join is me. Now, that'll be up on the screen. I got it all ready because like I'm not like... You see, so just type join followed by me. Can be all in caps. It can be whatever you want. And but I'm not opening the queue until I'm ready because I learned my lesson with Jonathan last week, 3 hours, because I hadn't. Oh, never mind. Okay, and he's well. Anyway, poor Jonathan.
And he's willing to come back, you said.
And he's willing to come back, which just freaked me right out, I'll tell you. It was lovely. Anyway, so hold your questions until after the discussion, unless, oh, hi, Heather. I'm going to say hi to people.
Yeah, please do.
Oh, and could you explain, please, because Heather says, Blessed Lunasa, everyone. And you explained to me earlier about the difference between Lammas and Lunasa. Could you do that for our chatters?
I can try that. It is known as two holidays. It's known as Lunasa, which is a God-focused word, Lunasa, and Lammas is the other name for the first harvest, and oftentimes referred to as Loftmas, because this is the first of 3 harvests in the agricultural world. This is when we're harvesting the grain. So Loftmas or Lammas is how it's referred to a lot of times.
Okay, that makes sense.
is very appropriate. So and yeah, so this is the first harvest, and it's not just, because most of us aren't out here are not actually growing our food, but it's the time between the summer solstice and the autumnal equinox. So this is the halfway point. So it's called a cross-quarter holiday.
Okay.
And so in pagan or Wiccan traditions, it's one of the cross quarters, and so it's about the first harvest. It's those things that we have planted at Beltane are starting to come in. And here's the thing. We are not just focusing on the plants that we're growing, but it's also the intentions that we set earlier in the year. So whether or not you wanted to start a new habit, you wanted to change the way you were thinking about things, the words you were saying to yourself, you wanted a new job, you wanted to get more money, you wanted romance. This is that first harvest. And it's an indication on how your crop is coming along, because you still have to do all of the weeding. Because here's the truth though. August stays really hot. Let's face it.
Yeah. And
so whilst we're out there, we've been doing a lot of planting and we've been doing tending. Now we also have to, we get a chance to look and see how our crops are going, the things that we have, the things that we have set into motion, see how they're going, because there's a little bit of time to be able to make adjustments to that. Because you know, when we were growing food to survive the winter, this was the first indication of is are we going to make it from through to the winter?
Yeah.
You think of the Empress card of the Three of Cups. Absolutely, Jackie. Absolutely. Yeah. And I would also say to that, thanks for bringing that up, Jackie. It also makes me think of the Seven of Pentacles, because you see the person who's planted the seeds and waiting for the crops to finish. So it's great. It's great. So, and I did see...
I see Diana Oil Painters here, and hi Diane and Madame Maru, thank you for coming. Rooted Willows here. I know I'm missing a whole bunch of people. T. Lynn.
Hello.
Jackie made a comment about Birdie Button. T. Lynn said that's Avian Moon.
Avian Moon. I like that.
Oh, I like that too. Oh, I like that too. I am going to tease her about that.
Yeah.
Usually we get cat butts. Well, no, sometimes we get cat butts. Hi, Liz. And I'm going to have to, yeah, that Wanda, she's just such a, she's just really feeling herself today, you know?
Yep.
She just really feeling a lot better. And she gained a little bit more weight. And so now she's just like, nothing's going to stop her. Hi, Fatima. So,
and
Wanda has no dignity. I mean, you haven't seen her swinging on the chandelier, okay? I have, well, no, I don't. I have a photo. I don't have video. But yeah, she used to swing on the chandelier. I live in an apartment and it's just like a cheap chandelier. And she'd hang upside down from one of the prongs and flap her wings to make it spin around and around. I didn't know that those things screw together. You know, I thought it was just all one piece from the light bulb part to the roof, to the ceiling. And no, there's two pieces. They come apart and she managed to unscrew herself and it fell and she flew away and never swung on the chandelier since. And they said you were dumb. Yeah, no, you weren't. You learned that. No. Very smart. She figured it out and just hasn't touched it since. Yeah, it scared the heck out of me. Yeah, exactly. We got cat butt in last night's live. That was pretty fun.
Oh yeah. So, so, and thank you for everybody for being here. I do appreciate you being here. Yeah. So think about that. Think about that first harvest. What are the things that you have actually planted? The intentions you've set. It's a really important time to pay attention to those, because it is, as the long stash readings on Monday, the 3 prompts were, you know, what's ready for harvesting, what needs tending, and what needs celebrating, because all of those things are important. This is a fire festival. This is when I did a great show with Colleen the Cool Crone on Sunday, and you know, back in the day, when we were harvesting stuff, people would go from one farm to the next to help people harvest. And it's a big celebration. You've got kids there. And so it's great. And Heather, Soul Alchemy with Indigo Jaguar, is lurking now and getting dinner ready.
You know, that still happens in agricultural communities. There's still crews that go around from farm to farm, only now you normally pay for them. So, but there's still like the table set for 10.
Yep.
And big pots and, you know, 10 loaves of bread baking every day and that kind of stuff. That still does happen. So welcome everybody. I'm really happy to be here with all of you. We're going to start very shortly, and I'm going to try to keep us to a reasonable time. This is not going to be a 3-hour marathon. Just
Yeah,
so,
because I actually have some Lammas magic work to do because my coven is celebrating Lammas tomorrow. So
oh,
I've got an activity that we have planned for that, and
cool.
I need to be working on that stuff. So
Baking the cookies.
yeah, well, and bread would be a perfect thing to bake. I'm not baking bread, so but there's a lot, and anything that's in season. That's the key
Yeah.
thing, and that was something that was brought up with Colleen. If you want to learn, if you want to celebrate Lammas or Lunasa, eat the food that's in season. It's usually
Zucchini.
less expensive.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that it's going to be fresher. Go to the farmers markets and get those. It's really, really amazing. So.
Here now on the West Coast, we have tomatoes, we have cucumbers and zucchini. We have zucchini by the bucket full. There's green beans that are coming in. There's all kinds of really, really good food that is in season and cheap. You know? So, well, reasonably priced, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So, okay, so how we're going to do this. I had another question about Lammas. Oh, so after Lammas, okay, I remember now. So the cycle goes, there's Beltane, where you plant, Lammas, which is the first harvest.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Mabon.
Yes.
Mabon.
Also known as the autumnal equinox. Yes.
Right.
That's
and
the second harvest.
That's the second harvest, and that's the fruits.
Yeah, yes, that's a lot of the fruits can go from that to the third harvest, which is
Samhain.
Yes. By the way, we talked about that backstage.
Yeah, this is all rehearsed, you guys.
Yeah. No,
when
but
he asked me what the third harvest was, I didn't know anyway, but I remembered the answer.
Yeah, the fruits.
Madam Maru, she's going to Dreamland. Good night, Madam Maru.
Good night.
Sleep well. And so Teelan wants to know, where does that originate? Excellent question.
Where does what originate?
I think the names. I think they're Celtic.
Yes, usually. Let me get my nifty little book out.
Ooh.
Not that I am over prepared or anything.
Oh my goodness.
So Lammas.
This is where I see the librarian.
Yeah. Lunasa is the first gateway harvest, and these gateway festivals traditionally fall on the first full moon of the season, but now it's celebrated on August 1st, and it's an Irish, Gaelic, and Celtic. Lunasa is named for the Irish, Gaelic, Celtic god Lu, and the funeral games he held for his foster mother, the goddess of agriculture. So you are correct. It's Irish Celtic. So so this is one of those things. Did I answer your question? Let me make sure. Where's it come from? It's Irish, it's Celtic.
Yeah. Originally, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize some of the names from the Welsh stories of the Tirnanog. I'm not sure how to pronounce any of these names, so go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway. Oh, Lady Silva says Lammas is also a Buddhist holiday. August the 1st, really?
I find that very fascinating. I didn't know that. Hi, Lady Silver, by the way.
Hi, Lady Silver. And if I didn't say hi to Carl, hi, Carl. And I think I said hi to Teelan, but I don't remember because most of me isn't here. So, okay, so we're going to, and hi, Pierrette. We're going to, unless there's like another question that anyone has about Lammas and the harvest festivals, the cycle of harvest festivals that are coming up. Sudabe, today we're doing it a little differently. We're not doing the usual, and I haven't opened the queue, so you got a message saying it's closed, because I learned my lesson last week. And Diana says there was also influence from the north, like the Vikings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Much of the traditions that are celebrated around the harvest, they're a great mix of different cultures. It's really, really beautiful. Really beautiful.
So Sudabe, so what's happening today is, because it's Lammas, it's the 1st of August, and it's the first of the harvest festivals. We're doing and I have to remind everybody, it's the 1st of August and it's a Thursday. And so you're going to hear the fire alarm test go on at 3:00 for 1 minute. Don't panic. I don't have to get up and pack everyone up and leave. It's an alarm test. Okay. That's it. It's not a drill. This is not a drill.
Yeah. Lady Silver mentioned the next week there's the 8/8 portal. So
right.
Thursday. That's correct.
That's right. And there's also the full moon, and we are being inundated. Oh, and thanks to Diana, I have found a really interesting, I want to share this with everybody. I found a really interesting guy who's a geophysicist, and he looks like he's like 22, but I'm sure he's much older than that, but that's just me. It's the channel name is Stefan, Stefan Burns, Burns. And he talks about all of the solar energy that's coming on. He's got charts, he's got graphs, he's got like presentation, and it shows the waves that are coming and what the sun looks like at 134 angstroms. Anyway, he talks about the geomagnetic storms on Earth that are precipitated by the incoming photons and stuff like that. It's really interesting. I mean, I'm a nerd, I know, but it's really interesting. And it has an effect. It has effects on us, and it's been going on since the 25th. And it will continue to be going on until at least the 5th or 6th, and maybe longer. But if you want to know more about that, if you like to dig deep and get to that information, Stefan Burns.
And it looks like Jackie Jacaranda has put that into the chat, the link to that.
Thank you, Jackie. You're just magic, aren't you? Anyway, yeah, totally worth listening to. So I'm going to take this down, and then I'm going to put this up, because this is the question. And if you want us, this is everybody's question that we will answer. And if you want that question answered, then don't do this yet, because I haven't opened the queue.
Yeah. But this is the question that we're answering. We're focusing on Akashic Records. And I'm going to say it's important that especially if you haven't had a reading in a while, it'd be great for somebody who hasn't had a reading in a while to get a chance to get a reading. So I think this is one of those things that, I think it would be an opportunity to let other people get a reading. And we're going to focus on this idea of that first harvest. And are you going to open records and things like that too?
Yeah, I am going to do that. I am going to do that, only just not, I should have done it before I opened the queue, but that's okay. I'm just waiting for it to kind of fill up so I can close it before we start, so we don't end up reading for 3 hours.
Carl, we're only answering this question. We're not answering anything else. So you just type in, you have to do the me, you have to do the join, exclamation point, join, and then space me.
Yeah.
So Rooted Willow, you need to type in
Join,
exclamation point.
not hashtag, exclamation mark, join, and then me, exactly like it's written on the crawler down at the bottom. So
Yes.
it should read like exactly like, okay, so Rooted Willow got it. There you go. And so did Pierrette. And yeah,
and I
exactly
would say if you've had a reading recently, we'd like to be able to give others who have not gotten a reading an opportunity.
Imelda, put a space between join and me. So, okay, Carl, your question's been updated. And Imelda, just put a space between join and me, or exclamation mark. You know, coders call that a bang. You know how instead of saying www period such and so, it's dot. Well, they call that a bang. So I can't. There you go. And so we're going to be closing the queue in a second. Okay, Heather, thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
Glad
Heather.
you were here. See you later.
And by the way, if you didn't get a reading, if you pay attention, you listen to the messages that we're giving to others. Some of those messages might actually resonate with you.
Yeah. So Patricia Bardell, I haven't seen you before. Welcome. And she's going to be our last question. So this is, the queue's closed. Questions are now closed. No, Jackie, you don't have to give your spot to anybody else.
I haven't read for Jackie in a while.
I don't remember the last time I read for Jackie. So, yeah. You're not giving up your position to anybody. I just won't let you. So I'm going to open the records now. She's just getting real feisty. She's got something to say about everything. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. Oh, let's do our breathing first, okay? This is the part I really like. So deep breath in all the way. Fill yourself up all the way down to your belly button. And hold it for a few seconds and then breathe out through your mouth. So in through your nose, all the way to the top, and hold it, and out through your mouth. Oh, that was a nice little buzz.
Mm-hmm.
We are surrounded by the pure white light of divine source. We ask Archangel Michael to protect and guide us, and we call forth all of our angels, guides, beings of light, and Akashic Records masters to assist us now to receive information of the highest truth, highest frequency of light and love, allowing us to receive exactly what we need for our greatest good and the greatest good of humanity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We open ourselves to the light, and with this light, we open ourselves to our truth. And with this light, we open ourselves to our soul's purpose. And with this light, we open ourselves to be guided towards our highest good and the highest good of all in divine love. And so this group, consisting of the people who are present now, those who will join us later, and those who will watch in the future, is given the truth to best serve them on their healing journey into the love and acceptance that is most beneficial for them in this moment. I'm going to read silently. And with this light and guidance, we unlock the energy field of this group to receive the records of their souls. Yeehaw! So I can turn this banner off.
Nice.
And I can put this banner up. I'm kind of getting organized. Like it only took.
And while you do that, I'm going to remind everybody that this is for entertainment purposes only.
Oh my goodness, yes. This is all
Do
just a
not
laugh.
make any do not make any decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm just telling you about the pictures I see behind my eyelids, okay?
Mm-hmm. I love it. And like and subscribe. It helps. Verify that you are subscribed to Linda's channel.
Yes, yes, please do, because I have noticed in the past couple of weeks that my subscriber count will go down by one day and then up by 2 and then down by 1 again and then down by another. It's just very weird. And I don't mind if people unsubscribe if they're not watching or if they don't like it. So yeah, check to make sure you're subscribed to all the things you think you're subscribed to, okay?
Yep.
It hasn't happened to me, though. I haven't been randomly unsubscribed from anything.
I haven't noticed any, but I'm usually making sure that I'm, leaving comments and giving thumbs up often when I'm watching shows. So
Yeah. So maybe that's why. Maybe it's the lurkers that get, and that's fair enough. I don't expect people to. Okay, so next, who's number 1?
Dun, 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 dun.
No, you just wait, Carl, because you don't know what the records have to say to you. And it's Diane. And besides, like, that means that I have to look up all the weird commands to give Nightbot and reopen and close the queue. And yeah, no thanks. So that's too much work for me. And you're just going to have to suffer through the reading, okay? So if you're ready, you go.
All right. Diane G. Diane G. I think part of what's showing up is you have had a lot of feelings going on, a lot of emotions, and I think it's one of those key things for you is that the emotions are the beauty of who you have been in multiple lifetimes. Your emotions are very powerful. They are strong, and they have given you an opportunity to have beautiful connections with people, connections that not everyone understands, because you get it. Diane, do you think you are an empath? Because I'm seeing that a lot in your records. I'm seeing that in particular, for me, your records have a, it's that still waters run deep thing. And so it's one of those things where you can look deeply into the water and you understand someone. And I think the Lama's blessing for you, or the Lama's message is understand that it's unique. That depth of understanding is unique. Not everybody has it. People, I mean, and so your depth of understanding is it's a much more mature understanding. And it's what's the word? If you have something, go ahead, Linda.
Gentle and compassionate understanding, and
Yes.
Deeply rooted in love, and not the kind of, although it could turn that way, I suppose, if that was your character, which it isn't. It's not the kind of okay, so this is that kind of person, and this is how I have to behave with them in order to obtain blah, blah, woof, woof. Like, it's not a manipulative kind of understanding, where like how narcissists read people and say whatever they have to say to get what they want. Yeah, it's not that kind of an understanding. It's a deeply, deeply rooted, compassionate, inclusive, very pink energy. I don't know where that came from. It just feels very pink to me. And that is a gift that your soul has had since their soul was created. This is a unique gift that you have. Like, exactly like Gerald said, this is a precious, a precious treasure is the words that I'm being given.
Yeah. And I also want to add, it hasn't been without difficulty, because you have the difficulty of trying to explain it to others who don't understand it. And that's where Diane G, the idea of poetry and music and art really helped you express it previously. So it feels like you might have an opportunity to listen to some music, to have a beautiful opportunity to connect to those things. But boy, articulating it, Diane G, was really hard.
And and the other thing, Diane, is do you practice Reiki? Are you a Reiki practitioner? Yeah, she says she used to get frustrated when people didn't understand or didn't reciprocate that kind of feeling, but I get it now. Yeah, because like nobody gets it. I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you are very much a precious treasure. Nobody else gets what's going on for you. I'm hearing that your compassion and your understanding gives you some unique healing skills. So if you're not doing Reiki, she says she just balances her chakras every day, or chakras, sorry.
Chakras. I pronounce it chakras. That's how I was.
I pronounce it whatever the way it comes out of my mouth.
Well, good.
It's like never consistent. So may I suggest that you, good that you balance your chakras every day. Good for you. That's an important practice for you, because of who you are and the way your energy works. May I suggest you look into Reiki, because I'm hearing that you would be you would be very, very good at this, and you would bring healing to people with that. But that's that's just the pictures and the voices in my head.
Yeah.
So Diane, that's your reading. This is your Lammas message about harvesting.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty awesome, actually.
I do too, and I like accessing the records for these type of thing, because it allows the records to speak
freely. I was thinking as you started your sentence, I was thinking to speak freely. Okay, that's freaky. Okay, so there you are, Diane.
Welcome.
Go in peace, my child.
Oh, here. Bye. Let's move you on.
That's like so. Oh man, check my internet connection. Oh, here we go. Okay, next is Jackie.
Jackie.
Yeah, we're all going to be having problems with our internet connections because of the solar storms. Here's another bit of wisdom from Stefan Burns. And because the solar storms generate geomagnetic storms on Earth, and that's the geomagnetic storms that screw up our internet connections and so on. So look forward to that, and phone disruptions and etc. So Jackie. Oh, I have such a rush of energy down my back. I've got the gigantic chills going down to my elbows. and up and down my spine. What is your message? What is the message for Jackie? I hear angel choir. I'm sorry, Gerald. I didn't mean to step on you.
Keep going. Go.
I hear angel choirs. I hear, I see, there's just a whole bunch of stuff happening all at once. Okay, so I see like, you know, in movies and when there's like this big bank of clouds and there's sunlight and rays of light and it's all supposed to be about God, you know what I'm talking? And there's this choir of angels going whoa in the background, like 15 voices all, yeah. And wow, what the heck is that about? Tell me. A glorious harvest. Wow. Jackie, you get the wowiest readings sometimes, honestly. The hard work and the attention to detail and the daily tedium and the daily dharma. I'll explain that later, but it's DHARMA. This is the word they're telling me. The performance of your dharma is bringing you a glorious harvest. A glory. They keep saying glorious. Glorious what, guys? You are about to receive something enormous. You are about to receive something important and big and well-deserved and again with the chills, well-deserved and from your point of view, totally unexpected. Completely unexpected. And there, what about a timeline? Harvest. Okay, fine. So I'm guessing anytime between now and Halloween. Yeah, sometimes they won't shut up and other times they'll give me one word and laugh. You know, yeah, there you are. That's all I got for you, Jackie. That was, yeah, oh my God, indeed. And the shivers and the chills and the creepies up and, not creepies, but goosebumps, that's the word, up and down my back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think what because what I am experiencing with the Akashic Records as a Lammas message for you is you have worked really hard. You have worked really hard to get the things that you have. And that hard work has been sometimes it has been a struggle to show up and do the work. Other times it has flowed through you. You have been very consistent. You have been able to do this, and you're able to do that rally and motivate yourself to do the hard things when they need to be done.
Yeah.
What's really important is that you spend a little bit of time of self-reflection and recognizing the power that is within you instead of it's time to pay attention to what you are harvesting internally and what you have. You're very resilient, and this is one of those things to where you're also a person who you've done all of that hard work, but people are not paying attention to it, so they don't necessarily see it because you've been quiet in many of the lifetimes. It's you show up, you do the stuff, you go home. You're not somebody like me who, wants a fan and all of that stuff. You're not like that. You show up and this is what's really what's an important thing for you to harvest right now is what they're telling me is for you to be able and to be okay with spending time alone with who you are genuinely and all of your power, and recognize how that gives you and how that brings you satisfaction.
Yeah.
Because you're I mean, focused inward. Yes, you like to stay under the radar, but focus inward today and over the next couple of days, and allow yourself to feel all of your feels, because there's great beauty and power in that. And when you do that, then your resilience is replenished, is what they're telling me. I'm getting different lifetimes and different aspects of the current life when you've had to do that. But that's really powerful, Jackie. Thank you. My gosh.
That was fun. And there's more. Jackie, just to piggyback on Gerald's reading, honor yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Honor yourself, because you're showing. Okay, so I guess Dharma could be described as hewing wood and drawing water, like doing the mundane tasks of everyday life, which are tedious. And there's a sort of a Zen story about a student asked the Zen monk, okay, so what do you want me to do today? And he said, go cut some wood and bring water back, and hew wood and draw water. And the student said, and what do I do? Oh, what do I do before I reach enlightenment? Carry wood and draw water. And what do I do after I reach enlightenment? Carry wood and draw water.
Yep.
So to me, and everybody's got a different interpretation, I'm sure, but to me, what that means is that life goes on and things still have to be done, and your spiritual state only matters to you and how you approach the tasks that you undertake every single day, just for the benefit of yourself and your community, that you do out here in the physical world. So you do a lot of Dharma. You do a lot of carrying wood and drawing water, and give yourself credit for that, and honor yourself for your showing up to do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's really beautiful. There's this need for inner time and inner reflection. And that's probably why you got all the angels singing, because when you have that moment of connecting to your true divinity, the angels are welcoming.
That's it. That's what it is.
So, yeah.
That's what it is. That's what's coming for you, is that connection.
Yep.
That connection. Wow. Woo. That's gonna, yeah, you too, huh? That's gonna give you a quick boot. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Man, Jackie, I don't often remember readings, but Jackie's readings I remember, because they always pack a punch.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say, I don't, yeah, it's true. I don't always remember readings. People will talk about some reading I gave them and I have no clue. And I feel I don't like admitting it, because it makes me look like a fool. But honestly, it's in one ear and out the other. Good, Jackie, you be excited and be welcoming, and spend some time with yourself, being excited and feeling that gratitude and that joy. So where's Nightbot? I asked you next, Nightbot. Where are you? Oh, I know what happened. Okay, fine. It ignored me.
Uh-oh. Do not ignore Linda, period. Do not do it.
You can ignore me, but, Nightbot.
Yeah.
Nightbot can't. Humans can, but Nightbot is a creature of my, at my command. Right?
I would totally try to ignore you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There we go. Lynn is next. Yes, Diane, that was a lovely message for Jackie.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn. Jinx, you owe me a Pepsi.
T-Lin. Whose name means harvest, I believe.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You go if you're ready.
I'm showing, she said,
oh, wait.
it said
Lady
it had
Silver.
Lady Silver next. Lady Silver, stick around. We'll do you next.
Yeah. Yeah, because
It's all good. It's all good.
I did not get the message from Nightbot when I asked.
Don't go anywhere, Lady Silver.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do it.
You're shackled here. I don't know.
All right. So,
Okay,
T-Lin. So part of what I'm wondering, T-Lin, is
yeah, interesting.
What?
In the live chat on my phone that I follow, Nightbot responded, but I don't see it in the chat that I'm following here on StreamYard.
All right. Yeah, we don't see it in StreamYard. We will fix it.
It's not, we didn't forget you, Lady Silver. It just didn't show up here, but it's on my phone. So thank you for being patient, and we're not skipping you. Don't worry. Okay.
So T-Lin, I think part of what I'm seeing is here's Alama's message from your Akashic Records is this is really an important time for you to get some clarity about not necessarily what it is that you want to achieve, but how you want to feel when you get the things that you are desiring. And they're being very specific with me about this because this is an emotional connection. It's not a thought connection. So there's this sense of really having the multiple times we're having things to where because you thought about this back then, you you can change what you want, and that's okay, especially because as you grow and evolve, because what we wanted as a 5-year-old is not what we want as a 20-year-old. So because there's this you lost your bit of sense of wonder and sense of adventure. You need to be getting out and about and finding the things that make you happy and dreaming about all of the things that could be possible. So is what I'm hearing. It's just like it's time to freshen it up.
So I keep getting this image of a little mouse, like one of those little tiny little field mice, that they're like an inch long, and just a little mouse. They're so cute. I mean, I think they're beautiful. I know people think of them as vermin, but I think they're just lovely. Whiskers twitching, scurrying along the well, first this little mouse is scurrying along a path in the forest, its own tiny little mouse path, under leaves and between between blades of grass. And this is so interesting. I don't know what the hell the point of it is, so I got to follow it. So I'm following the mouse, and it's going to okay, as a human, I'm looking at this and I interpret it as a building. So the mouse is just some kind of a place where there's a hole that she gets into. And oh, she's so sweet. She's found a bag of grain, and she stuffs her little cheeks full of the grain and then goes running back through the same path that she had before until she goes, and for a mouse, it's a long way. you don't eat mice. You be quiet. And she goes to her little hideaway, which is, oh my God, this is so beautiful. The roots of a tree. She's dug a little tunnel under the roots of a tree, and she's got a little den in there with like some dried grass and stuff that she's put together, and she's got a bunch of babies, and she's bringing the grain home. She's still nursing the babies, but they're beginning to learn to eat like food. So she's bringing the grain home for her babies. It's not just your harvest, okay? Like your harvest that you packed up in the bags and you put in the storeroom. It's also a harvest that goes farther than, I don't have the words. They're showing me images. The harvest goes much farther than feeding you and your family as a human.
What you harvest, you freely share with others.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't have words. I don't word so good.
I was like going, yes, I have that half of that message, Melinda. Just
I appreciate
let me know when to jump in. But I'm like going, yeah, because that's very similar. Yeah. It's just like going, you know, what you are harvesting, you freely share. It's important that you remember to feed your family first and yourself, because if you're not taking care of yourself,
yeah,
you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to go out and find and share.
Yeah. So. That's exactly that's exactly it. This yeah. It was a very those readings touched me. That reading touched me. That little mouse working so hard, and
T-Lynn said, done that my whole life.
Well, that's my harvest message. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. That's my message from the Akashic. That's my transmission from the Akashic Records masters for your lamb. I can't talk now either. Okay, just let me ground for a second, man. This is like I hope that helps, T-Lynn. That was deeply moving for me, that little mouse and her little family.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It was beautiful. It was really beautiful. Carl, none of the moderators are employed by me. Every moderator here is volunteer, and every moderator all across WooTube we're all volunteers, and that's fine. Not a lot of people in WooTube use Nightbot. It's mostly used in for game streamers, like on Twitch and stuff like that. So I know people aren't familiar with it, but I mean, I spend half my time with my eyes closed. There's no way that I could manage my chat if I didn't have Nightbot's help. But yeah, Nightbot is absolutely a bot. And it's a collection of code that, you give it commands and it does stuff. So, yeah. So, yes, T-Lynn, share.
Yep.
Harvest and harvest enough to share. Yeah, I know you have, Carl, and I thought it was really cute, and I never said anything because I thought it was so sweet because, I mean, sometimes when my oven dings, I go, oh, thank you.
There you
so
go.
I'm not going to criticize somebody who thanks inanimate objects. So,
Lady Silver.
Oh, T. Lynn says, Mouse is curious. She just found one over the weekend and couldn't stop thinking of it. Maybe this is why. Maybe it is, T. Lynn. Maybe it is.
I don't think there's much of a maybe about that.
Well,
I mean, I'm just saying.
I think you're right. I think you're right. It was very specific, and I was curious about like a mouse, like what? And then I had to, it was running all over the place, and I had to follow it to get to the message. It was a very weird kind of reading, but one that is really touched me deeply. Okay, sorry, Lady Silver. Go ahead, Gerald. I'm sorry.
I think what's you have something?
No.
I think, Silver, one of the things that's amazing is because you know, when I've worked with you previously, you know, seen some records, with this idea of the llamas and what is the Akashic Records saying is there's a whole lot of okay. It's almost like do you know like the haystacks when they do a haystack bale, they line up all of the hay and they roll it up, and that's done, you know, now it's done by machine.
Yeah.
Before it was done by humans. What I'm actually seeing, Silver, is I'm seeing a lot of your past life messages and your records lining up beautifully. They're sort of, it's like shuffling a deck or making a hay bale, and it's really quite lovely. So I think the message is what you're doing. You really are harvesting. You're building on top of something else, and it's very strong and very powerful. You know, and what you're doing, and they actually are showing me you using a pitchfork and moving stuff, and physically you're moving stuff, but also emotionally you're moving stuff, mentally you're moving stuff, energetically you're moving stuff, and there's this look at all of that work, and it's really interesting because this image, and I do not know who the person is using the pitchfork. I mean, I can't tell a time period, but I'm seeing the time period in like 5 or 6 dimensions all at the same time, going through the same motions. So it's almost like you'd see it in, you know, do you know what I mean? It's like those
exposure, like a double exposure kind of a thing.
Yeah, like a triple or 5 exposures.
Yeah.
Work. All of that work. This morning I was clearing ancestral karma. Well, by the way, I'll say kudos to you because obviously it's worked. It's worked. Good job, Silver. You know, and what's an important thing also is that I'm getting is it's important for you to celebrate. Be willing to celebrate the success of the hard work that you've done. You know, and you know, get some credit, share some space with that. Go out for dinner, have some coffee, go for a beverage, get dessert, and then spend a little bit of time in self-reflection because that's part of how you work, and that's the depth of experience that you have. It's really powerful. So, there is no, you know,
it is working. Yeah,
totally.
There's no need for any of that. It's working. It's happening. The image that I got is laying bricks. So
oh my gosh!
What?
No, go ahead. Laying bricks. I mean,
yeah, there's
like stashing stuff for hay.
Yeah, there's the guy with I don't know what it's called, like a not a I don't know the
A
thing
mason?
that a mace. Well, I know they're
Oh, a
bricklayers. I
trowel?
mean, no, the trowel is what they use to scoop it up and put it in there, but they hold the mortar on a thingy with a handle. I don't know what it's called. And I see him carefully scraping the mortar off with his trowel and putting it on for the next course and measuring and being really precise about where they go and really careful about scraping off the edges and, you know, rolling his finger down there so that, or the trowel, whatever it is, so that it's all very even and very beautiful and very carefully measured and very sturdy. And he's taking his time. He's not letting himself be rushed by anybody who's going, you know, it's time for lunch. He's going to finish his platter full of mortar, because if he puts it down, that means he has to mix up more. He's going to finish his platter and then he's going to go on to whatever has to be done next. But he's being meticulous about this brick wall that he's building. And
It may be a mortar board.
that's the word, a mortar board. She was the wife of a master builder.
Yep.
Oh. Or a hod. Okay, yeah, probably a hod. That sort of rings bells, but I think it's a difference between what you say in Britain and what you say in the United States, because I'm more likely to know the British version of it. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, and he's kind of ridiculed by the people around him. Or not ridiculed, but they're ashamed of themselves.
Mhm.
And so they try to shame him into being like them. So, you know, the crabs in a bucket, right? They pull people down who are trying to, oh, well, he thinks he's so special. Yeah, they're trying to pull him down to be at their level because he shows them up for their shoddy craftsmanship, their shoddy workmanship. And he doesn't care. He literally does not give a flying what they think. He knows he has a vision, he has integrity, and he can't let himself give less than what he knows is necessary.
Mhm.
I don't actually, well, there you are. Lady Silver says this karmic healing is building one level on top of the other. Yeah. Careful, meticulous work.
Yes.
Clearly.
Well, and I love, Linda, how I was getting, hay bales, and you have to have skill to use a pitchfork to be able to do this stuff.
Well, and
And
they're gathering the sheaves, yeah.
yeah, you got the very accurate and very correct builder.
Well, I don't know. I think they're just two ways of talking about the same
I
thing.
think so. It's amazing.
Wow. Okay. See, this is why I love reading with you, Gerald.
Oh, well, thank
It
you.
just blows my mind every single time. And it's so much fun. Like, really, this is what I was made to.
What?
This is what I was made for. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Carl, you're next. Blinding flash of insight. I have another blinding flash of insight that I can share with you a little bit later, maybe once we finish,
Well, take a second and appreciate that,
Okay, so age 71, I have just discovered that I don't have that I have wavy hair. I have curly hair. I always thought I just had shitty straight hair that wouldn't do what I wanted it to do and was unruly, and I could never make it lay smoothly, and I had to like use the brush and the curling iron and the this and the straightener and the that and the other, and it always looked, it never really looked kind of off. Come to find out, well, that's because it's curly wavy.
Yeah. But it
And
is what you know, yeah, yeah.
everything that I've been doing my whole life, okay? And I'm sharing this with you because I think it's a metaphor for learning and for growing and for being open to new information. So now I'm like all over I'm all over YouTube looking for the curly girl videos on how you're supposed to look after it and what you're supposed to do with it, and don't use the blow dryer, and or if you do, you have to have this monster diffuser on it. Don't brush it. Don't, you know, yeah, all the things, and gob the conditioner on it because curly hair is dry, and all of these things that are absolutely antithetical to everything I thought I knew about my hair. So there you go, everybody. That's learning and being willing to try new things and being willing to have your reality kind of upended as to what's real and what's true about you and
Yep.
about your life. So that's my sermon for the day. Go in peace, my children.
And did you happen to see what Lady Silver said? Yes, Linda, this is what
Oh,
you are here to do. We need
yeah.
your gifts and guidance.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know that, but sometimes I get the heebies, you know, I get the, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, this or that. Yeah. Well, you know, and then I need moments like I just had to say, who cares? You're doing it. Do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Hi, Samantha. Welcome. Questions are closed, Samantha. I'm sorry. They closed like about 5 minutes after they opened because that's how it works here. And yeah. And so next, Carl. Yeah, we're gonna. So, Carl, you're next. Oh. Here we go. So, so this is a really interesting image that I'm getting. It's so there's a pretty good path through this really overgrown, I would call it a jungle, but I'm like North American, so you know, it's kind of a cartoon version of a jungle for me because I don't really know what a jungle looks like. It's a pretty good path. Okay, I mean it's like pretty wide. Two people can pass each other by, and it's wide enough for people to lead donkeys through it that are laden with, I don't know, stuff, and it's a pretty good path. You know, it kind of has its ups and downs and goes around a big fat tree that nobody felt like chopping down, and follows a little brook for a while, and you know, it's clear, it's well marked, it avoids the really crazy obstacles, it brings you close to water, which you need, and overall, like, it's a decent path. And now they're showing me you with a machete, carving your own way through the jungle, leaving, oh, that's interesting, leaving, kind of leaving big disturbance behind you, you're not following, okay, so on the prairies, we'd call it a deer trail. If you're a hunter, you follow the deer in the woods. You follow the deer trail.
Mm-hmm.
all the animals make their own trails, and they generally follow the deer trail, because the deer will like knock aside the branches. So, and their little pointy hooves make really good trails. So I don't know what you call it in that environment, but you're not even following the animal paths, okay, that are already there. Because generally humans will follow the animal paths, but you're not. You're just carving straight through, destroying some of the paths and destroying some nests and destroying some other stuff that you have no idea about because you're not paying attention. You're just wielding that machete like a machine. It's just going up and down. And sorry, baby. And she thinks I want to fly with her. And and this whole time, you could be using the path that's already marked out. And if you had to go off a little ways to get to, you could carve out a path following the animal trails. You'd have to hack some of it, of course, because you're taller than those animals. You'd have to cut some branches, but it wouldn't be nearly the work that you're making for yourself by doing what you're doing. So your harvest is essentially looking at what you've accomplished. I'm being told that you've accomplished chaos and disorder and a lot of there's a lot of scrambling of the little animals behind you, trying to figure out where they are in the way everything's been reconfigured and trying to, figure out the new landmarks. I mean, it's only going to last for a couple of days, but still, all these little animals are just like, oh my goodness, what's this? What's this? And it's a big disruption to their lives because they're used to humans being up and down the path. They're not used to humans going right through their kingdom and leaving it in such disarray. The words I'm being told are watch your path, watch your feet, set your feet where you mean to go. Pay attention to what's around you. Don't just pay attention to yourself and what you want. There's no point in reinventing the wheel.
And you also have to keep facing forward because what I'm seeing is there's been a fair amount of time looking back and looking at the chaos that you have created, and you've been attached to that chaos, and you cannot move forward with it. It's a very clear, keep moving forward, go with a steady pace. However, if you're noticing all of the chaos instead of where you're going, that's taking you off the track. If there's a clear message, you gotta do the thing, then do that thing. But looking back behind you and seeing the chaos that has been created, it's muddying the message. You're not seeing the one point that you need to, and to keep going. Because it's almost like you're walking backwards, Carl, instead of walking forward. You're watching all of the chaos that's been created, the stuff that you're slicing away, instead of making sure that what you're slicing is what you need to be working on, because you should be celebrating these things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, my impression is definitely that it's not intentional, that it's just automatic, that it appears very mechanical, like just up and down and up and down, and you're not asking, does this branch really need to be cut, or could I just move it aside? And yes, there is a huge amount of chaos behind you, for the plants, for the animals, and also because you're going in the same direction as the regular path, like the regular human path. You're going in the same direction. It's a whole big whole amount of chaos for not much accomplished, because you never needed to do it in the first place. You created it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Trying to go your own way uh, uh, is just creating a lot of chaos.
But yeah, you because I'm also seeing is the need to go your own way actually what you need to do, or are you doing it just because somebody told you that you should do something and you're going, well, I'm not going to do it. And so, be careful.
Yeah. Just I mean, I have a very wide streak of defiance.
Really?
In my character. Yeah, I know. And the nuns never broke it out of me. Amazing, eh? Because they were experts at breaking people, let me tell you. Okay, well, I mean, that's what I got for you, Carl. I hope that helps. Listen to it again. I had chills describing the what I was seeing, and yeah, so I hope that it helps you. So thanks, Gerald. And thank you, Carl. Rooted Willow, no, it's not follow your own path. He's been creating his own path, and it's just been chaos. And so I'm not
has
sure
not always been working out.
Yeah. So I don't think following your own path is necessarily the message. Okay, so next we have Pierrette. Bonjour, ma belle Pierrette. And we will go. You go ahead if you're ready.
Okay. I'm getting images of white handkerchiefs being hung on a line. And they're actually really beautiful. And so there's very much it's almost like there's, oh, okay. Pierrette, have you been working really, really hard at working on some forgiveness and peeling back some frustration? Because it feels like what you've done is all of those, the handkerchiefs are the ones where you've gathered all of the tears from multiple lifetimes, and now you've been working on some stuff and being able to, it's like you are, well, you've washed them. So part of what you've had is this beauty in cleansing some of the stuff that you have been holding on to in multiple lifetimes. And Pierrette, are you here? Because it feels very much like you have been working not just on things that you've experienced now, but on other lifetimes when you've had a great deal of sadness. So this expression, these tears, this emotional release is not just this lifetime, but there are also others, which is why I think all of the handkerchiefs are out and floating in it. And
She says, yes, Gerald, thanks for that.
okay. I mean, because what you're doing is here's the power in it. Okay. And I'm using that word appropriately, is that's what I'm being told, is you've put that out there, you've let it go, and then suddenly when you are taking these down and you're folding them, you are gaining all of your power back in your energy. You are pulling it back in, and you are, folding them ritualistically, and then and they are giving you much more oomph moving forward. So yeah, Linda's got a smile on her face.
I love that image. The handkerchiefs filled with the tears from those previous lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
I get a whole bunch of fuzzy pink energy, Pierrette. And it's healing energy, and it's healing you energy. It's not just energy that you have for healing others. It's for you.
Yeah.
It's and I see actually the Three of Cups. I see you dancing and celebrate. Well, it could be. It's not, but it could be. It's that symbol of the with the wine and the flowers and the celebration with family and friends. That's what I see. Big celebration. Close friends, family, people who love and who love you, and people that you love coming together, celebrating and your healing.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrating your healing. So I don't know, like, what kind of parties you're going to be going to between now and Samhain, but there's going to be, or maybe it's Thanksgiving. I don't know. But a Canadian Thanksgiving is earlier than American Thanksgiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Canadian Thanksgiving's
Yes.
in October. It's before Samhain. So I don't know if this is going to be like Thanksgiving with your family, like 25 people at the table and everybody's drinking and laughing and having a great time. But it sure feels like a heck of a celebration, Pierrette.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. That's what you're harvesting as a result of your healing, that the healing has brought you this celebration.
Yeah.
And I also see progress, journey, voyage, going farther down that road. Moving ahead, moving forward. So whatever it is you're working on, that's part of the harvest too, that you're reaping from the healing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Pierrette, that's so awesome.
Nothing better
I want
than
to go to that party, man. There's like
yeah.
food piled 3 feet deep on the table. You wouldn't believe it. Homemade wine.
Mead. We need some honey mead.
Oh, I don't think they make mead in New Brunswick. Although who knows? But anyway, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Canadians don't. Well, maybe some. People still talk about hipsters. I am so happy for you, Pierrette, because I see nothing but party and celebration and moving forward. Your wedding. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Did you set a date already, Pierrette? Come on, you got to answer me. Okay, yeah, I know Rooted Willow is next, but I want to hear Pierrette say whether or not she set a date, because I want to know. Well, okay, never mind. You can text me. You've got my oh, Pierrette, that's so awesome. Okay. Just send me a quick text and let me know, okay, or an email or something. Okay, so next we have Rooted Willow. Thank you, everybody, for being so patient.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, no, she says no, not yet. She will be. Wow. It's got to be Valentine's Day.
Do it whenever you want.
Yeah, do it tomorrow, whatever.
Well, yeah, you could get married and then have the big celebration.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah.
Rooted willow readings.
I feel a cool breeze, a cool misty breeze, rooted willow. The kind that you get like at 6 o'clock in the morning, just as the sun is coming up in the forest, you know? It's cool and it's misty and it's it's just the birds are just yammering their little heads off. So a tranquil environment, but one that is nevertheless full of life and bubbling and burgeoning with life. That's all I got for now, Gerald. You go ahead.
Well, it's interesting, the cool breeze, because that's what I felt. I did feel a cool breeze. And what's significant about it is the cool breeze is it's sort of weird. It's almost like you are in another hemisphere where you're yeah, it's almost like it's like you're on the other side of the globe where you're realizing things are waking up. And so I think your Lammas message is that pay attention, because the things that you're thinking about now are going to they are going to be planted. The things that you were wanting to do are going to start to manifest. I'm so so Rooted Willow readings, if let me know if that makes any sense to you. But I got like you're in, because the opposite of Lammas is Imbolc, where we're starting to see the signs of the sun returning. And so I don't know. It's really bizarre. So, but
Good night, Carl. And Pierrette said Valentine's Day is her birthday. Oh, now you have to do it. I am not entirely sure what the image is not. The images that I'm getting just don't seem to relate to harvest at all. They seem to relate to planting and growing rather than harvesting.
She said, I am manifesting a WFH job so I can travel, and this way I can see the world, be one with nature. Oh, that makes sense to me.
I work from home. Yeah. Yeah, a work from home job. And
by the way, I think that's going to work out fine for you.
Yeah, because this is just, to me, this is like a confirmation. Like it's just peaceful and quiet and well, okay, so it's not quiet because the birds, like I said, are yammering away, but it's peaceful and joyful and serene. That's the word.
Mm-hmm.
Serene. And I just feel a whole bunch of joy and I just feel joy in there. So I guess that's your harvest. I guess that's your your message from the Akashic Records Masters. That image, by the way, that I have in my head, I wish I could put it on the screen, because I'm in a clearing in a forest. It's not like a pine forest. There's all different kinds of trees in there, and the birds are just the song. Okay, the bird song is out of this world. And it's just starting to warm up. The mist is rising from the middle of this little glade, this little meadow. Well, I mean, it's not that little, but it's the mist is rising. The dew is rising off of the meadow grasses, and it's just exquisite. It's just,
Yeah.
It embodies serenity and joy. So that's I guess your message.
Well, and I do see travel, and I see you sort of, having to manage your own time. So
she says she's going to be living out of van, so she'll be at campsites.
yep.
So yeah, okay, yeah, then that makes
perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Good, Willow. I'm glad. I just feel so happy right now. I do. So you're going to be feeling even happier.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you, Willow. Next is Sudave. And I think we're pretty well coming close to I think that we're, come on, Wanda, stop chewing my clothes. I hate it when you do that. I just hate it. She likes chewing fabric. And it makes me nuts.
Okay. Imelda and Patricia are next.
Okay, so there's 2 people left. Okay, and we're like only at an hour and a half. Wow, that's really good. Okay, so Sudabe, she's here. You go if you're ready.
I am seeing you actually rolling out. This is a strange image, but it's almost like you're rolling out a big sheets of rock, pebbles or something like that. So I see you actually laying these roads down, and this is probably metaphorically speaking, but it's like a and it's actually a pretty ancient place. It's not, but you're using rock, and you're actually rolling these. It's like sheets of rock that you're rolling out, and you're making road, and behind you all sorts of things are growing, and not sorts of things, like towns are growing. So you're actually you're making these not motorways, because this is not the time period of motorways, but towns are being created. I do not know what you do for a living or where you live, but it's almost like it's it feels very much like what you have been working on. There's this I don't know if you're like in school or something like that, but it's very much like the bricks that you're laying down, the stones that you're laying down are actually evolving and continuing to grow, and all sorts of beautiful things are coming up.
That's really interesting, because I saw a garden.
Okay.
And working in a garden, and I see a bunch of different kinds of vegetables, and some of them are pretty fancy and hard to grow. And so you have to work really hard to grow them, and like baby them along, and cover their stems, and do this and do all that kind of stuff. And but you're growing flowers too, and you're growing herbs. There's just like I would be proud of a kitchen garden like that, You know, it's got everything. It's got the food to eat and the food for your eyes, and the medicinal kind of food and the herbs and the like the
Mhm.
flavor food, you know. Um, and it's quite large, and you spend a lot of time working on it.
And a lot
And
of time planning it, and it
oh
evolved.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know, people on the prairies, we start planting our garden in January.
Hmm. Yeah.
Martha, should we grow this kind of beet this year or that kind of beet, you know?
Hmm.
Uh, um, yeah, a lot of planning, a lot of very careful thought, and a lot of very careful, with the measuring and the strings and the compost and the preparation takes like weeks. You're growing your tomato plants on the windowsills in the house,
Yeah.
and all of that kind of stuff. And you're looking around at your garden and feeling real satisfaction. It's just starting to grow. You're feeling real satisfaction, and you go out there every morning happy and enthusiastic, happy and looking forward, and you really love those plants, and you treat them with love, and they respond to it, and you have, yeah, you're wondering. I see you now wondering what you're going to do with all this food. Because you didn't think it was going to be this successful. So there you go, Sudebe. She says she was thinking if she had achieved the purpose of her life on earth. Well, I don't know. We have, I don't know anything about you, Sudebe. Um, we all have, like, there's sort of a universal human purpose, and that is to love. Okay, every one of us has that purpose, is to embody love, and to be loving to ourselves and be loving to each other.
Yeah.
So you can start from there, is just to follow the love in your heart, not the love of, like, maybe necessarily a person, but the love of what you do. Okay,
Yeah.
so start there to find your purpose. If you feel that you don't know yet what your purpose is start with what you love doing, what brings you joy, what makes you excited, what makes you happy. I mean, if you look, okay, when I was in Ireland 2 years ago, we went to visit this estate, and there was acres of this beautiful lawn. Okay, and the lawn there is not like the lawn here. The lawn there doesn't need watering, and it's a very different kind of grass anyway, that apparently won't grow in North America because it's not rainy enough. Anyway, whatever. I just looked at these acres and acres of beautiful landscape, lawns and gardens and stuff, and I turned to my son-in-law and I said, I see that, and I just want to get a plow and turn it over to potatoes and cabbages. And he thought that was hilarious.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at it. Everybody's going, "Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, look at that. And look at the
Yeah.
anemones," because it was in March. And so there's all kinds of little spring flowers coming up. And it was breathtaking. It was gorgeous. But I looked at it and I'm thinking, what a waste of space. Like, you could
Yeah.
grow so much food here.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's the Ukrainian. Okay. I can't help it.
Yeah.
And it seems like I have them, but what you're saying, well, if you're doing what you love, and if what you're doing brings you joy, then yeah, then you have found your purpose.
and
Yeah.
and what you have been doing, you've worked really hard for, so have satisfaction in doing the hard work, because
Yeah.
what you have, all of the earthly, benefits of it are because you've worked hard.
Yeah. Yeah. You were weeding and watering and cherishing and planting and babying them along. And this is the result of all your hard work.
Yeah.
It's not luck, and it's not, oh, it was just a good season. Although, I mean, that has something to do with it as well. But yeah, you worked hard for it, and this is your reward.
I love that.
Ah, me too. That's a great reading. I really love that. I especially love that garden imagery. I mean, I love playing in the dirt. I really do.
Yes.
So next is Patricia. Oh no, it's Imelda.
It's Imelda.
Sorry, Imelda. I wasn't going to forget you, Imelda. Don't worry. I just misremembered. Imelda. Oh, Imelda. I hear church bells. Why do I hear church bells?
Because Imelda could be singing.
And I hear church bells, and I hear, and I smell incense. You know, the Catholic Church incense. You know the kind I mean.
Frankincense.
And yeah, and it's a cool, dark place with candles.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing this is in a church.
Mm-hmm.
And there's somebody praying in a pew. Not at the very front, but towards the back. And the person who's praying, which I think is you, Imelda, is you're praying to be allowed to serve. You're praying to be shown your purpose and praying to be allowed to serve. I feel a pure devotion and a pure faith and devotion. I mean, I don't know anything about you if you're Catholic or atheist or anything about you, but man, that devotion, whatever it is, it shines.
And Imelda posted, ha, 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 ha. I'm going to church later to deliver a prayer tonight.
Freaky. Okay.
Because it's interesting because what I am getting is, the records are, we're talking about llamas and the harvests, and with what Linda was saying, it's like you are Mother Superior. You are praying because you are having novices come in, people who are going to they want to be nuns. And so you are praying to be able to give them the best possible opportunities. And you're going to actually help them think things through very clearly. You are much. I think the harvest message is that your faith and your devotion is really beautiful, and it helps to inform how you approach the world. You take a moment, you collect yourself, you understand from your own personal connection with deity how to be able to demonstrate it to others, not preach it, but lead by example.
Yeah.
And that's a really key thing. I'm also, I'll be honest with you, is, Mother Superior. However, you're a little political because you're telling the people who are making decisions on what's the right thing to do.
Oh yeah.
So you have some influences, we'll say. So
yeah, and you don't tolerate any sort of nonsense towards anybody that's under your care.
Yeah.
Your novices are very well protected and very well looked after.
Mm-hmm. And they flourish. A
lot of joy. A lot of joy.
Yeah.
And satisfaction. And I see you facing down like a bishop,
Mm-hmm.
and wagging your finger in his face. Oh my God, that's so funny. he's sitting at his desk and he's just sitting there looking. And
Yep.
and you're saying, and you're not going to do it like this. You're going to do it like that, because if you do it like this, and you're just giving him what for. I love that.
Yep, I do too. And that's, I mean, and let's face it, that's a beautiful message
Yes.
for this time of the year, because you've worked hard
Yes.
over lifetimes to be able to be intelligent, to be fair, and to be articulate. So there you go, Imelda.
Sticking up for the people that you care for, sticking up for the people that you're responsible for, sticking up for the people who don't have a voice other than you.
Yep.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Imelda. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so Imelda, I'm getting the big chills on sticking up for those who don't have a voice except for you.
Yep.
So there you are. Your harvest.
Love
or
that.
your message of harvest. And Rooted Willow, goodbye. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you were here. And that was an awesome reading. I loved that reading.
It was fun.
Yeah, the messages today are amazing. I love reading with you. Okay, so the next person in the queue, the last person in the queue, the rose at the end. Okay, I'm not going to. I was going to say the rose at the end of the dandelions. So that's not true, because I love dandelions and they're very important for detoxifying the liver. Patricia Bardell, hi. I hope you're still here, but that's okay if you're not, because you can just watch. I don't know what the time's. Oh wait, 1:46 for your reading.
I feel like Patricia was here.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't.
Yep.
I don't. It doesn't matter.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, she is. Oh, okay. Not that it makes it like it doesn't make any difference, because we don't need to ask any clarifying questions. We're just giving you what the masters want you to hear. You go if you're ready. I'm not.
Related to llamas. First harvest. You have been the message for you is you need to, it is important for you to build in self-care, because I'm getting parched earth that is cracked, that has not been able to grow appropriately, and it feels very much like you're missing the opportunities to let those emotions flow through you. You're caught up too much in your head instead of actually being in the moment with it. And this is something that it honestly, it feels like it keeps you safe, because if you're not emotional, then people can't get mad at you. But you're breaking out. You've separated yourself from your authentic aspects, and it's very much a need for you to the words I'm getting are to dial back your overactive thought process and allow your feelings to well up and to bubble over, because those will give you an opportunity to refresh and to do some healing. So what are you getting? You getting anything with that, Linda?
Back in the garden again. I mean, like I said, it's the Ukrainian, right? If it's not growing food, it's useless. Uh, I'm back in a garden, only this garden hasn't had anything growing in it but weeds for like a long, long time. I mean, even the volunteer zucchinis have died out. There's weeds and nettles and just all kinds of undesirables that are in there, and you're surveying this and going, I'll just mow it and that'll be fine. And yet something is compelling you to do more. I don't know if you need the food or like you, because you won't survive without it, but you have to, maybe that's what it is. You just have to do it, even though you don't want to and don't see the point. You have to. And you're not happy about it because it's dirty work and it's long and it's tedious and backbreaking. And you can't, if you want to eat the food, you can't be using, Roundup. So you start by renting or buying, I don't know, a tiller on a riding mower, so that it overturns all of the weeds into the soil. And you're getting advice from people around you, from like actual farmers and gardeners and stuff, and they're telling you about, I can see this conversation happening. They're telling you about soil amendments, and you're going, what, you mean I can't just throw the seeds in there and they'll grow?
Yeah.
And you're going, no. You have to put in some compost. You have to go down to the farm store, to the tractor, to the farm store and buy some compost and spread the compost, and here's how you do that, and here's how much it's going to cost, and so you do. And then you think, well, maybe if I just grew them in containers, but no, you can't. It's got to be like done properly from the ground up to build a garden that will sustain you in the future. That is the key, I think, is doing the work from the ground up, doing it correctly and not taking any shortcuts and amending. Okay, getting rid of the tilling to get rid of the weeds and to move the soil so that it breaks it up and it's not got like that hard crust, Yeah. And after that, adding the amendments. So the compost, the lime, the whatever, sand, all working all of that into the soil with the tiller. Is it a tiller? I think so. I can't remember what it's called.
Plow. Are you thinking of a plow?
Well, no, a plow is when you're going to plant. A tiller just breaks the soil up into clumps so that you can then get it ready to plow. It gets it ready. And manure and all of this stuff that has to be done before you can plant anything. This is back-breaking work. It is thankless because you don't see any results except dirt, and more dirt. And eventually you get to the planting part. Oh, whoops, you forgot to plan what you wanted into your garden. So now you're up late at night thinking, do I want this there? What about the sunlight? How does it hit in that corner? What can I put in that corner that gets a lot of shade that will grow well? Oh, lettuce will do well in the shade, and radishes do pretty well. All of that kind of planning. And eventually, with a lot of not a lot of joy. Okay, let me just be really blunt.
Yeah. Oh no.
no joy, a lot of tedious, hard work that just, you go to bed at night just broken and pissed off. You're still resentful and pissed off that you even have to do this. And then the plants start poking their little green heads through their pointy little heads through the soil. and you go, oh, okay. Okay, so this, this is working.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start getting some real leaves. And then the peas start climbing up the trellises.
Yep.
And then the beans start climbing up the poles. And you're going, whoa, like, yeah, okay. And so you're not quite as angry and resentful when you go out to water first thing in the morning and do the weeding and stuff like that, because you weed after you water, because otherwise the dirt's too hard. And as time goes on and you see more and more of the reward of things growing under your care, a little more joy settles in your heart. A little
And
more.
You start to believe that you can actually do it.
Yeah. You see,
So
you
disconnected
see the results.
Yeah. You've disconnected the doubt.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, maybe this is going to work. Wow, maybe I am going to be able to eat my tomatoes. Wow, maybe it's not all going to go to the Japanese beetles and the caterpillars. Yeah.
Patricia did say, I just bought a bunch of live plants. And earlier, Patricia said, thank you. The last few years have been very hard physically.
Wow.
So.
Okay, so Patricia, I think you followed a really good instinct, because what I'm getting is looking after your own self. That whole garden was just a metaphor for your own self.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as you look after those live plants, be mindful that you're looking after yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And Judith Anderson had something interesting to say. She says, I'd rather put that hard work into my garden than 14 hours a day for an ungrateful corporation. Oh, I hear you there, sister. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Mirella. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, me too. I'd rather work 14 hours a day in a garden than for an office. I can't believe I did it for so many years without blood being shed. Except for biting my tongue. I hope that helps you, Patricia. You have a lot of work to do to do the groundwork for your own well-being.
And you can do it.
The rewards are amazing.
Yeah, you can do it. And part of it is just do a little bit each time. And so, but I think that's a key message here is that a little bit, small steps, result in a long journey.
She had cancer three times.
Wow.
Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. That must have been such a struggle for you. Yeah. So now the challenge is connecting with your body in a positive and in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
Because your body's been the source of a lot of pain and discomfort.
Yeah. I feel a lot of procedures that were done.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of procedures,
a lot of pain,
surgeries, a lot of pain. So I'm
A
sorry.
lot of pain, Yeah, that's the challenge, is to reconnect with your body.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know what just fell into my head, Patricia? Belly dancing.
Well, you got to know your body in order
It
to
just
belly
fell into
dance.
my head. It just fell into my head, and this is all for entertainment purposes only. And I'm just talking about the voices and the pictures in my head. So there are people who do mobility challenged belly dancing, like limited mobility. That's it. Limited mobility belly dancing.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. If it doesn't make sense to you, I mean, please just ignore it. Okay. It's just, it's just words that fell into my head. So there you go.
She said my grandmother did that.
Oh, I love your grandmother. That's so awesome.
Wow.
So yeah. And your grandmother's probably around you. She's probably the one who said, tell her to do belly dancing.
That would make sense.
That would make perfect sense.
Yes.
Oh, anyway. So everybody, thank you, Patricia. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who had a question. Thank you for letting us read for you. This was so much fun. I hope your messages were meaningful.
Yes.
And I hope they will bring you some information that you can use to grow with,
Yes. Yes. I like that. Some information to grow with.
Yeah.
Take it along.
Even though it is a harvest, there's more harvests. There's 2 more harvests coming.
Well, yeah, but don't they plant another round of? Don't you do peas again?
Well, it depends on your growing zone, and it also depends. There'll be a second harvest of hay. There's 2 harvests of hay, at least in Western Canada, which is what. Well, and also, I don't know, but yeah, Eastern Canada, they do 2 harvests of hay as well. And in September they'll plant, or later this month or early September they'll plant the winter wheat.
Yep.
Harvest that like next May or June. And so well, it depends. Like I said, it depends. People here in British Columbia grow 2 crops all the time, but people in Saskatchewan and Manitoba don't necessarily do that for peas specifically, because I think they take like 80 days or something, and that's coming real close to the first frost. So anyway.
Wow.
Happy harvest, everybody. Love you all. Thank you all so much for being here. Oh, I forgot. Gerald, what are you doing? What are you doing this week? What's coming up for you?
Tomorrow, I am doing a Tarot the Stash Way with Richie from Longman Tarot. We are talking about tarot and the sense of hearing.
Okay, I'm going to watch it.
Looking forward to that. And then I'm doing readings on Sunday with Jeff from Tarot Ask Backwards. And everybody like and subscribe to the channel, because that way you'll be notified when I've got lives coming. So I've got lots of stuff planned. Yes.
Gerald has some really interesting things that are coming up. And so please like and subscribe to his channel. And to mine, of course, if you're not all, if you're the chatters, of course you are. All right. Love you all. I'll be back on Tuesday. Akashic Adventures is going to be, I'm going to be hosting him this Tuesday. So it's going to be on my channel. And I'll be back next Thursday. I think next Thursday I'm by myself. Yes, I am by myself next Thursday, unless, I can rope somebody in. But you'll see the thumbnail anyway. So love you all. Thank you so much. And now for a quiet moment.